Factory's Creativity Unleashed podcast. Join me, Tiffany McIsaac, and my partner in creative pursuits, Melanie Pinto, as we explore creativity as a state of mind rather than a talent we're born with. Here you'll find guided meditations, insightful conversations, and evocative tools to help you unleash your full potential. Because when we live life from a place of creative thinking, the opportunities are endless. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Creativity Unleashed, Letting Go. When we are not in balance and our energy gets stuck or blocked, it affects our flow, and our creative thoughts often take a backseat. When we refuse or don't know how to let go of thoughts or situations that are not serving us, we can easily become stifled in our creativity. On today's podcast, Melanie Pinto, Reiki Master, Kundalini Yoga teacher, and my business partner at the gallery is coming on to teach us tangible ways to let go and deepen our creative process. This is the first time Melanie is joining me on the podcast, and I'm so excited to have her. Before we opened the gallery, we actually started our business with a creativity workshop called Creativity Unleashed, and then it's something that we continued into our gallery, and it means the world to us, especially now during isolation, to be able to keep offering these tools and insights through this podcast. So I really hope you enjoy. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm good.
Welcome.
Excited.
We finally have you here.
I know, right? I know.
We get
to be able to do this.
We get to teach a workshop through Zoom and the podcast for the first time instead of in the gallery, so that's different.
Yeah. It feels different. Where's everybody?
I know. It's good in a way because you can actually reach more people this way than in the gallery where it's just the however many people that are in the class.
Yeah, whoever can make it that night so it's really true. It's really true. And you can do it when it's convenient and when you're in the mindset, or wind down or be quiet
Yeah. So today
something we've been doing and meaning to do. So it's interesting that out of this craziness comes some things that we've been meaning to accomplish. So that's fantastic.
Yeah. Today we're going to talk about letting go, and how letting go can help our creative process. And I think we're going to end with a guided meditation. So you guys can either get into a comfy place now and get cozy so that you can just end there. Or if you want, when we get to that point, we'll let you know and you can pause the video and then start it again when you're comfy. But yeah, why is being able to let go such an important part to connecting to our creativity?
Well, it's really important because basically creativity is your capacity to create. So we are all energy, and everything that we do is that transaction of that energy, an exchange of that energy. So the ability to be able to create beyond the basics is about maintaining that flow. Mm-hmm. So we call it E or chi or prana, life force energy, right? So being able to move it and direct it and use it for higher purposes, whatever that may be, is it's a gift. So in order to keep that flow, we need to be able to make sure that we're avoiding blocks or releasing blocks. And when you're rested and you're nourished and you've got your balance in your life is in sync, the flow becomes easy, right? So things move and flow, brain, left brain, give and take, all of that stuff. So it's really important to notice, if we're stressed, if we're fatigued, if we're not nourishing ourselves properly. Those things can create blocks because our energy just isn't flowing the same. Mm-hmm. And then when we've also got big, deep life traumatic blocks in our life, right? So they're deeper and bigger, and they can create deeper blocks, right? So sometimes when we don't even think of ourselves as creative, or we may have ideas but no idea how to, move them into, create them and bring them into fruition. When we start to release those things and move and work through them, it's quite incredible how that, that flow of energy starts to produce new and exciting things in your life. Mm-hmm. I think that's where creativity can really flourish or maintain its flow. And yeah, we can really stay in that creative mindset. All right.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think it's so difficult for most people to let go?
Well, I think there's a ton of reasons, right? I mean, there's a ton of reasons why we get blocked, right? I mean, we have the simple reasons of, just your everyday stress, everyday, again, you're just not sleeping, you're not all that stuff. But there's a ton of reasons. And I think it's really important that we start out by saying things like, deep life trauma, childhood trauma, things that have affected us in our life so traumatically that we can't move through them, even though we maybe try, or even sometimes things that we don't even know that we're facing. It's just so deep. I think we need to understand that it's always, always okay to ask for help with that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about it now. We're going to talk about some tips and tools and things that we can do to keep that flow going and to break through those. But I think it can be so challenging because there's some of these blocks are so deeply rooted, right? So we really want to make sure that we're open to reaching out and asking for help, right? And the reality is there's so much help. I mean, we've got on this hand, there's medical help. I mean, if we've got physical illness or mental imbalance or just deep-rooted things, there is medical help, there's therapist help, there's all that. And then on this other hand, we've got, fairy therapy and angel card readings and, so there's
therapy,
clown classes. Yeah. So there's really everything, right? So if we understand it's a full spectrum, right? So ask help just gives you'd be surprised all of the interesting things you can find. So what maybe didn't work here might work there. So it's finding one that's right for you. And I think another reason why letting go is so hard is that we're in a society where, let it go, get over it. You need to learn how to let this go has become so cliche. I think that even if we're ready to let go of something, there's such a negativity towards it. Just let it go, get over it, right? So automatically our body, at the thought of letting it go, our body reacts, right? And we want to say, okay, well, why don't I let you go? Why don't, fuck off, right? So, it's just that instant, I don't want to let it go, or I don't need to let it go, right? So yeah, there's that attitude where we just see this negative connotation with the term let it go or letting go. And then I think too, we've also got this attitude that somehow letting go of something or giving up on something or means we failed, or we're not hard enough, or we're not committed enough. And that's so wrong. I mean, you're letting go of a dream because it just doesn't serve you anymore. Letting go of a relationship because it's just not working and just not trying hard enough. You know what I mean? So understanding when letting go, it's the right time. And again, that's where sometimes you need that help, right? Learning if things serve you at the moment or continue to serve you in your life is not even letting go of a bad thing. Sometimes letting go of things that are still really great, right? Like we're holding on to things that aren't necessarily serving us, but they feel really great, right? Like if you're in a relationship or with someone and all you want to do is be looking and see them all the time, it's still creating an imbalance. It's something that's good, but it's your only focus. So we need to let go of that a little bit to create balance and keep that flow in our life, right? So yeah, it can be challenging, and sometimes too, like we want to let go, we just don't know how.
Yeah.
Right. Learning tools and learning where the help is, and how to go about it.
Yeah, everyone's creative, but I guess for artists or that creative type, do you feel like it's more difficult for them to let go than others?
I wouldn't say that it's more difficult because again, it depends really what we're dealing with as well, right? So, I mean, some people feel deeper, or some people are more connected to certain, so it really depends on your situation. But I don't know that creatives are necessarily more or less affected. But I think in some ways it can become more obvious because as a creative or an artist or a writer, or you're putting yourself out there quite often. If an artist gets creative, you're able to notice it more. Let's say often what will happen is an artist will be looking and they're just stuck on something. They're stuck in a spot. So they may get tired of their work. So they're dissatisfied with their own work. They may stop writing or stop painting or just, I'm done with it, right? And just put it. But really, it's not the art that they're dissatisfied. It's where they are in their life or with their work or whatever the case may be. So, or the work may become stagnant. It may become stale because they're always painting the same thing, or writing the same thing, or the messages also aren't getting out there the way they normally would. So they're creating, they're writing, they're painting, they're sculpting, whatever, but their message that they might normally infuse in the work, it's just not coming through. So and it may be noticed by themselves or others more often. And the difference too between an artist taking that necessary break from their work or stepping back from their work to recharge, which is just part of that ebb and flow of creativity, and is really natural and encouraged and very common. So understanding that versus a block, right? So you want to be able to say, okay, I might need to recharge. Everything might be great and your flow might be fine. You just need a recharge or some, new inspiration. So yeah, I think because artists are putting themselves out there so much and so often, it's visually noticeable more. So
I think too, a lot of artists are so stuck in this mindset of like it's that pain or that whatever that like helps me create. I can only create from this dark place. So a lot of them don't want to let go of these things because they think that that's what's giving them the inspiration. But, for myself, even I felt that way for a long time. And now it's the opposite. Like I moved past everything. I learned to create from a place of joy and positivity and inspiration. And now it's like, it is hard for me to create in those states. I have to learn to let things go so I can create again. But I think so often, whether you're an actor and you need that to tap into those emotions when you're playing a character, or you're painting and it's like, hard for you to express emotions that aren't pain related, or even out of the negativity of a toxic relationship or something. But I feel like it can be something that a lot of artists hold on to because they think that's where the inspiration comes from.
Yeah. And we're going to do as we talked about, one of our podcasts is going to be about, art for the brooding art, or meditation for the brooding artist, right? So again, addressing that, right? And then understanding fluidity gives you that ability to go into the dark, dip into the light, play in the dark, sit in the dark, look back into the light, and allow that all to move through your work, right? So, and not having these blocks means you can move in and out without being stuck in any one spot, right? So you can play with the anger, you can play with the darkness. Letting go doesn't mean being a happy happy all the time. Nothing bothers me. Everything's great in my life. No, you just have the ability to deal with it. Take action where necessary, walk away where necessary, breathe through, and use all of the beautiful emotions that we're gifted with, and then let them go and take on what's coming next, right? So you're not in one spot, because that's blockage, you know? Yeah, so yeah, very true.
If you are in that place of feeling blocked and you're trying to create and you feel like nothing's happening and you want to let go, how do you even go about doing that? Where do you start?
Well, again, so always know, no matter where you start, no matter how deep you're in, no matter how far you've gone, asking for help is always a great place to start, right? Always knowing that there's help for you. It doesn't have to be a doctor or whatever, just a friend or someone that you trust, you know? But just on your daily basis, like daily, the things that we can talk about and share here, I think one of the best places to start is changing the word letting it go, or let it go, the phrase let it go, changing it from a to-do list, the words let go, or a phrase or a cliche, or a task, changing that to the emotion. So feeling the emotion of letting it go. So as you're starting to move through this, you're feeling your way through it, as opposed to just how I need to let it go, I need to let it go. So I find that the most simple, the most basic way is to get started slowly. So again, you might have a giant issue that you need to let go of, or it could be the smallest, but it's breaking it up into little pieces, right? So we want to start slow, we want to start small and get used to that feeling. There's tons of instances or things that we're already doing every day that we're actually practicing letting it go. So we want to connect to those feelings, connect to the physical feeling, the emotional feeling of that, and then carry that with us. So then the next time we need to do it with something bigger, we can connect to the feeling, right? And use that as a resource. This sounds silly, but it's one of the most basic, and we all do it. Urinating, going pee, right? It's that letting go feeling, right? You know, it's something we just do. We don't think about it. So it's finding all those little mundane tasks that we do every day, all day, that we can connect to on a regular basis. So think about peeing, right? It's taking that moment, realize, okay, I've taken this in, I've taken what I needed, and it's okay for me to let it go. What no longer serves me, what needs to be released, I'm letting it go, right? So feeling through you, connecting, almost thanking it for, giving you what you need, right? And letting the rest releasing, right? And you don't have to spend 10 minutes in the washroom going through the ritual every time.
There's a line behind you. They're like, hello.
Oh, no. I'm getting before Melanie and Tiffany. Right? But yeah, it's just that experience. So feel it, experience that letting go, and then just that moment of, I'm okay with that. That was great. And again, when you think about what your body does, it's taking all the toxins, it's all filtering it out and getting rid of it. So it's a beautiful exchange, right? And then if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can say, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to give myself to help this process, right? So I need to have water. I need to have water. I need to, be drinking, nutritious things and keeping my liver and my kidneys and all of that filtering process healthy. So again, those are steps that you can take to enhance the letting go, right? So taking action. Something as simple as taking a shower. So taking a shower is a beautiful, beautiful way of doing it. And you can do this, that's 20 seconds to your morning. You can extend it if you have time. So you get in the shower, you just stand in the shower, and you literally just feeling that water connect to you. So you're having 5 seconds in the shower. So count to 5. under the water and allowing yourself to receive the water, right? Feeling it just move, warm you, wet you, right? And then 5 seconds, the next 5 seconds, you're just counting gently in your head, holding your breath, right? So 5 seconds of an inhale of letting it warm you and wet you. 5 seconds of holding your breath. So just again, just feeling that body connect, or feeling that water connect to you, feel your body receive it on the skin. And then as you exhale, the next 5 seconds, literally just feeling the body or the water move off of you, right? So it's a 15-second exchange. So feeling, saturating, connecting to the water and the warmth and all that it makes you feel, and then 5 seconds of letting it go and literally feeling it leave you. If you want, it's on the drain and watching it, vortex down the drain and the visual of, and it's okay. And then that last 5 seconds of how did it feel? How do I feel? Right? So you're connecting to the action of letting go, your connection to the feeling of letting go, and you're connecting to how did I feel afterwards? And it's usually a pretty nice feeling, or there's no change. So again, you're telling yourself in your mind and your feeling in your gut that I can let go. It feels okay, or it doesn't hurt me. Right? With these tiny little steps, you're creating a nerve, a pathway in your brain that says letting go is okay. I'm good at it. It's pleasurable, or at least it doesn't hurt me, right? Another one, again, that we do all the time. So, you come in at the end of the day or at whatever point, you're walking around and you just kind of plunk down, or at the end of the night or at the end of the day, you plunk down on your bed, right? So taking that moment, just again, you can do a 5 seconds or 20 seconds if you've got the time. So it's just sitting down or lying on your bed, just a couple of breaths in and out, and then connect to the feeling of being supported, right? So you're letting go of having to support yourself. You're letting go of having to hold tight, hold anything, right? And you're full on your bed, on your floor, on your yoga mat, on your couch. We're just connecting to the fact that you're being held up, and you don't have to do it. And you don't have to do it all. It's just there for you, right? So that's a good way to do it. Another good way too is, again, breath, right? So we're going to do, our meditation is a nice breathing exercise. So we'll do a full meditation with breath, but just throughout the day, again, just breathing in and then connecting through your mouth. So it's an inhale breath. And then like an O or a gentle O if you're in the middle on the bus or wherever you don't want to be too obvious, just feeling that breath pass your lips so that you want to feel it release and feel it let go, literally. And allow it to be gentle, allow it to be okay, allow it to be soothing. And then notice your body. So again, you're connecting the action, the feeling, and then the summary, right? So there was, and again, you can do it enough times, you start to create these neural pathways that this is okay, right? And a little visual you can add with that as you get more into it. Again, part of the risk of letting go is when you're consciously thinking, okay, I want to let go of my love of bacon. I don't know, whatever. I know that's sacrilegious in some circles. If you're thinking about bacon all day long, I need to let go of bacon, all you're going to want to do is get bacon, right? So, you want to be mindful of how much time you spend thinking about it. But as you build up and spend more time actively identifying something you want to let go of, one of the tips you can just gently do as you're breathing that, breathe in and just visualize like a little paper boat or a little boat, and putting things on the little boat. So my love of bacon, my obsession with bacon, or just even picturing the little boats just by themselves with nothing on them. And as you're blowing, just picturing them on a little pond, this cute little paper boats just floating away, right? So you can do that in 2 seconds. You can adapt it to whatever visual works for you. But again, it's the concept that you're taking an action, you're physically feeling that action, and then connecting to the result. So that's a really good one. Another one that I think is really important now during this time, hand washing, right? So we have to do it all day long. We're told, we've been instructed exactly how to do it, 20 seconds long. So using that as a meditation, right? So you want to focus on making sure you're doing it properly, but I'm sure you've done it enough times now that it's second nature. So, we do this in the gallery all the time for any of our workshops and start as a starting sort of ritual. So as you start to get good at you're practicing of letting go, some people might want to incorporate rituals. So we're just going to look at this just as a hand washing ritual. You can do this just as a basic when you're just washing your hands in the sink at work or at home, before you do the cook the food, or you just come in from being outside. So just as a basic simple meditation, and then I'll show you the making it a ritual. So basically you want to connect to the soap, right? So you're putting your hands, you're still doing that same motion. You can add the rapid movement. You're feeling the water, let the water connect. You're moving it throughout your hands. But as you're doing that, you're connecting to all of the things that you need to let go of, right? Or one thing that you need to let go of, right? So you're doing a functional purpose of getting your hand wash in, but it's now become a form of letting go, right? So let me show you here. I don't know how good we'll do here. Hopefully that will work.
Yeah, I can see the bowl.
Oh. Are you good?
Yeah.
So we'll just, again, if you're just using your soap and at work or whatever, you don't have all these little luxuries. But if you want to make it as just a beginner ritual, so it's really nice way at the end of the day, or if you come home and you've been stressed about something, or you just got something going on, it's a really nice way to.
For anyone who can't see the video and they're just hearing it, do you want to describe what you have?
Absolutely. So I have a small little dish, and in it I've put sea salt and some Himalayan salt. You just use table salt, you use baking powder or baking soda, anything with a little bit of grit. I like the sea salt. Again, we're connecting to the lowest part of the ocean, right? We're getting the water, that life, the life force of the sea, and then the Himalayan salt. So we're connecting to the mountains and keeping our experience large. And then I've just got a bit of soap, so just some natural soap. So I'm just going to mix the two together. I've got some, a little bit of just some fresh herb, which I've just had the luxury of using. You can also add a little bit of, if you've got some essence, some lavender, or not at all, right? It just makes it extra special. I've got lavender, so for calm. And I'm just going to break a couple of little bits in there. Just a little bit of lavender. Again, so you're incorporating more of your senses, right? So if you make it a full body experience, your body will remember it longer, right? I've got a little rosemary. You can make scones after. And I'm just going to mix them up. Now you would do this over the sink at home, but I just got a little dish. Again, at the gallery, you just have a nice little dish that we use. So just a bit of water. And again, if you're doing this as a ritual, find some little nice dishes if you have access, right? If you can, because it makes it feel more special, right? If not, your favorite mug works just fine. Just a little bit of water to wet our hands. And then it's just a hand wash. So If you want to put on some music, it's really nice. We're grinding. So again, the soap to wash away, the salt to grind away. We're getting rid of any grit, any drama. We're getting in between the fingers. We're getting thumbs, the back of the hand. Anything that we need to release, you're going to feel the grit, and we're just scrubbing through. And then when you're ready to just release. Again, we're just going to pour the water, connect to the sound, connect to the release of the water on your hand, and feel the grit let go. Feel whatever you associated with that grit let go. And then you've got the beautiful scent left. Your hands are soft from the salt, and you'd be amazed how smooth things run once you've let and drama.
I know how good this feels because I've done this before. So I'm like getting so relaxed watching you because I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this.
And yeah, like, and it's amazing, right? Like all the people that will comment after we do this. And I mean, we first did this at a workshop of a colleague, and it resonated. It was so deep, and we've been doing it ever since. So it's a simple thing. So if you can do it as a ritual with all of those pretty little tools and nice the nice different salts, great. If not, you can do it at work. You can do it, but again, it's just a moment, and no one even knows you're doing it, but you're just physically connecting the action, right? So it's not going to let go of itself. You've got to do some work. You've got to take the action. Got to do that, and then release. So it's a reminder, right? And then again, often we would, just a nice to moisture or whatever. So something natural, something healing. So it's like, yes, you let go, and now I'm nourishing you and taking care of you. Right. So
I've even combined a few of these before where I've done the like salt wash, but on my whole body in the shower.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly.
All like the salt, like pulling everything out, and like the scrubbing and that grit, really connecting to that, and then watching it all like go down the drain, feeling it all go down the drain. And it's like the best thing to do after a stressful day, to come home, take a shower, do that process, and then like relax and enjoy the rest of my evening, and then go and create.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many, in our future podcasts, we'll go over lots of different things, right? So, it's just connecting to those little things. And then like you said, like they start to become habits. But when you put them together and you realize, oh, this is an act of letting go, right?
How can artists use this in their work? Like, how can you apply this to being in that flow state and actually then creating and getting through those blocks?
Well, as we talked about, so again, understanding that this letting go process is just so freeing. As you build on it and you get deeper and you get rid of little blocks and you start to move through those, your work just improves because, as I say, you stay more fluid. You gain that ability to go deeper deeper into your own creativity, your own ideas, and you'd be surprised how these ideas just start coming. So it's really important to work through stuff and a lot of stuff that you don't know that you even, were having an issue with, right? Those things start to come up. I think one of these tools I like, I think is a really interesting one for artists and can be very difficult, is so you take a piece of work that you would be keeping in your own collection. So you don't want to do one that you're going to sell for a lot of money necessarily. But one that you like, maybe not your favorite, but one that you quite like, whether it's a piece of art, whether it's a piece of writing, something that you created. So then you find yourself get yourself into a state of positivity. So whether that's through dance or some meditation or, some, rituals, that type of thing, you can put on some nice music, have everything set up. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that piece in this state of play. So in a state of feeling good or feeling calm or peacefulness, whatever emotion or feeling you want to work with today, you can play with. It's nice to do if you can do a journal. If you can't do it in a journal, just think about it. Mm-hmm. So take a particular piece and say, okay, what was the joy of creating this? So reminisce and write or scribe some of the things that were really pleasurable, revisiting the creation process of this piece. Mm-hmm. Linger, reminisce, and feel those feelings again. What did you love that turned out about it? What, maybe would you have changed about it, whatever. Just spend some time with the piece. Spend some time with the piece. Then what you need to do, or what, we encourage you to do, is with your hands, so finger paint. So we want some sand or some grit. So again, you could use salt, you could use baking powder. If you've got sand, great. Mixing it with paint because you want it gritty. Whatever you can do to get some grit and texture, using your hands. If you can add a bit of scent in there, or have like some scents going, candles or something going, paint over it, right? So it's a piece that you love. If it's writing, write over it, right? Mm-hmm. Paint over and then rewrite over it. If it's on the computer, it's digital, or you've written it on the computer, edit it, saved, edit. Like delete any of the ones that are backups, right? So you'd want no access to it, right? And then physically feeling this process of letting it go. It's something you were happy with, something whatever, but you let it go, right? Again, not your favorite piece, right? But one that brought you pleasure and that you do enjoy, right? But again, if it's a sculpture or something, and if you need to start small, right? But the process of actually taking something that you have and then letting it go. Mm-hmm. Another good thing for artists can do is, again, I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times over, but a gratitude journal. Mm-hmm. So make it the baddest, best, beautiful, funkiest, whatever gratitude journal going, right? So use that creativity and make it beautiful, make it you, make the paper, sew it together, whatever the case is, right? So make this ooze you, and then really connect. So get into the habit of actually connecting to those things that you have. Mm-hmm. Not physical things, not just physical things. So, include the physical things, include everything you have in your life. Because then it really makes it easier to connect to the things that or to let go of things that you don't have when you realize you are so abundant, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just part of that process, right? So connecting to what you have as opposed to focusing on what you don't have, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a good way of doing it. Well, yeah.
I love that. I can think of all the times that I've painted over a painting, but from a place of like fear and not wanting anyone to see it. So the idea of kind of reclaiming that and painting over it because I'm okay with the process. Yeah. I think that will get you comfortable with being able to sell your work. So when you're too attached to it, let it go. Sometimes artists don't even put themselves out there to show their work because I think some people are actually afraid of sales because they're afraid of letting it go. If you sell it, you have to let it go.
Yeah. And sometimes you've had it up on your wall, or it's been in your, in your gallery or your studio or whatever, in your bedroom, under your bed for so long that, letting it go is like losing a friend, right? Mm-hmm. Losing a life. So, yeah. And then again, so all of these processes start to create a positive spin on letting it go, right? Mm-hmm. So we're taking negativity, that negative emotion, and we're slowly building it into a positive. Mm-hmm. And before you realize you've let go of so many little things, you've let go of emotion, you've maybe let go of relationships, you maybe let go of lots of little things. And then letting go of the big stuff becomes much easier, right? And knowing, again, letting go of big stuff is complicated. It's not just about letting it go. There's give and take and negotiation and all the things. So getting help when you need it, but using all the tools available to make it a positive experience that's manageable and doable, and you actually look forward to it.
Yeah. Shall we meditate?
Yes. Okay. We're going to start off and do a breathing exercise. So I'm going to find some music. You can, at home, you can pause and find some music and do it on your own, or you can just listen in here. Sorry, I had this up. Of course, there we go. So the purpose of this meditation, again, it's all breathing. It's designed to release stress and emotion, right? So again, just the release, so just the act of meditation in itself is a process of letting go, right? And people think, oh, I have to meditate for however. Just 3 minutes of meditation. So whether it's breathing, hand wash, whatever it is you do to meditate, creates change in your electromagnetic field. So you are vibrating differently, right? You're attracting, you're giving out differently. Just 3 minutes affects your blood system and your circular system. So again, that flow is enhanced with just 3 minutes, right? So you can do that while you're waiting for your coffee in the morning, right? You want to aim today for 11 minutes. With 11 minutes, you're already creating change in the circulatory system, the lymph node system, and in the nervous system. So just 11 minutes. And 11 is a master number, at the beginning, ones. So it's always nice to aspire to. However, if you just started meditating, 11 minutes can seem like forever, right? So do your best. Go as long as you can, improve as you can, and you can do this as often as you like. So we're just going to, the way we do this, so we're going to do, it's the Kini Mudra. So we've got all of our fingertips just placed gently together and placed in front of our heart center, in front of our chest. So again, we're lining up all of the planets in the universe and the whole bit, and we're connecting them together. Everything's aligned. We've got all of our nervous systems, our nerve endings in our hands, we've got them aligned. So we want alignment and balance, so things aren't blocked and there is flow. We're basically going to be doing a breath similar to what we talked about in that shower. So the breath is designed to create balance, to create flow. We're releasing stress. We're releasing emotion. It may get hard, so just, again, focus. We're going to start off with a count of 5, so I'm just going to explain it to you. So we're doing 5 gentle breaths in through our nose, so like a count of 5. So in for 5. And then at the top, we just hold it for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're releasing through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we start again, in through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to continue. We'll do here for 3 minutes. You can, again, continue on your own for 11. As you get the rhythm down, feel free to add some chanting. Add some I am loved. I am abundant. Whatever words that you need to retrain in your mind or want to hear. Maintaining a beautiful, steady flow, steady pace. Connecting to the breath. The mind starts to move or wander. Just let it go. Connect with your breath. Connect with the count. Connect with your mantra. Beautiful deep breaths. Connecting to the sound of the breath coming into your body, into your nostril. As you hold, let the body soak in, your cells saturate. Beautiful, rich, oxygenated breath. Feel and hear as it releases. Continue on for the full 11 minutes if you choose. You want to just start with the 3 minutes. You want to just take a beautiful deep inhale through the nose. Hold it, feeling the belly rise. Opening your mouth and letting go. One more beautiful long inhale. And when you're ready, you can just open up your eyes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. And again, it's something that you can expand on and increase that time. You could be seated cozy somewhere. And, yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful meditation.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
On that note, I guess we'll end it there today, but I'm super excited to bring you back on. Like every week, we'll be getting together and doing more of these chats on a ton of different topics. So stay tuned, everyone, for lots more of Melanie. Yay.
That viewers want to focus on or work on, yeah, we'd be happy to put something together and kind of customize them.
Yeah, please.
So,
wherever you're following us or listening to this, shoot us messages or comments and let us know what kind of topics we can cover, and we would be happy to. Okay.
Sounds great.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, well, I don't know about you, but I am feeling super relaxed and so grateful to finally have Melanie on the podcast with me. Again, if there's anything that you want to hear, tips or tricks on, or topics you want us to discuss, please leave us a comment, send us a message. If you like this podcast, please share it with a friend, hit subscribe, and we're really looking forward to bringing you so much content just like this every week.